Okay guys, let's get started with Pinterest. So the first thing we want to do, if this is a brand new Pinterest account for you or brand new Pinterest board, you do want to create one that's specifically for your blog and has boards on it that correspond to the topics that you're going to write about on your blog. So for example, this Pinterest account is specifically for my Life Controlled blog, and it has nothing to do with my personal Pinterest account. On Life Controlled, I focus on blogging articles, marketing, online marketing, as well as detailing out how I'm optimizing and using affiliate marketing and those kinds of things to generate income from blogging. So I want to make sure that my Pinterest boards correspond specifically to that niche. It speaks to the kind of person that reads my blog. So on this Pinterest account, I'm not going to put, for example, farmhouse style living rooms. I love farmhouse style and I love it throughout my house, but it's not related to this blog and what my readers or the types of readers I want to attract are looking for or searching for on the net. So I use Pinterest to try to get traffic to my blog, and it's very successful for me with another one of my blogs. So I'm going to show you here how I would start on a new board optimizing. So one of the things I've done is I've gone through and I've created a bunch of different boards, and I've tried to make sure that the titles on these boards are titles that are commonly searched for. So for example, this one, blog post ideas. If I start typing in blog, the main things that people are searching for on Pinterest come up and are automatically generated. And you can see that when people search on Pinterest, the #1 keyword or key term is blogging for beginners, then blog post ideas, then blogging, and then blog, and whatever this word is. Also, you can see the top boards that pop up. Mine, for example, pop up because I'm logged into my account, but boards called blog. So blogging for beginners and blog post ideas are great key terms to have for me for my Pinterest boards. So that's exactly what I've done. I've created one called blog post ideas and blogging for beginners. One of the things that you want to do is make sure that you go in here and set your descriptions, and your descriptions can have more words that people may search for. So I'm just going to add in a description with more key terms. Can generate great blog post ideas, including awesome blog headlines, content, and subscriber incentives. And what kind of blog is it? I'm sorry, what kind of board is it? So I struggled here for a minute trying to find the right category. I was hoping for something like blogging or marketing, but I eventually settle on other and choose that. So then I'll go through several of my other boards and just make sure they have descriptions and categories set. I'll want to eventually do this for all my boards, but I just did a few here for an example. Now, one of the things I really also recommend that you do is seed your boards. None of these boards have enough posts in them. I would recommend that you have at least 7 to 10 posts in each board, so that it looks like when people come and visit this board right now, they're going to see 2 pins. This is not a board that they're going to want to follow, right? It doesn't have great content. So they're coming to this board. If I were going to a board that only had 2 things, it's not something I want to follow. So I think a good rule of thumb is 10. So for example, for blog post ideas, I'm going to go ahead and just use Pinterest to see this topic. And this is not using Tailwind or anything. This is just straight using Pinterest. I'm going to go through and just That's 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 that have seeded that. So now let's see how that looks. If we go back to my board, and this is a browser caching issue. It's not, I do have more than 2 in there now, so you may have to refresh so that you can see, because your browser will cache it. Now if somebody goes into my blog post ideas board, they're going to say, oh, okay, so there's actually some content stuff is actually being added here. Looks like I already have 1 follower to this, but so this may be something now that they're more likely to follow. If this is a board specifically about blog post ideas and that's what they're interested in, then they're going to go ahead and click the follow button so that every time I post something new to this board, they're going to get a notification, or it may pop up in their feed, depending on how they have it set up. So I want to do that for each one of my boards. I want to make sure that they're seeded with at least 10 articles. So I'm going to do that really quickly and then I'll get back to you guys. So now that I've finished populating these boards, I've tried to get at least 10, or at least around 10 pins per board, so that if somebody stumbles upon one of these boards in a search, they're more likely to see that there's good content and then follow that board. Then when I post new content to that board, they're more likely to get notified. And so I can try to increase my followers that way. What I'll do next is I'll go ahead and start to set up my Tailwind account so that it'll start posting to each one of these boards on a regular basis for me without me having to go in manually to Pinterest all of the time. Tailwind will post at different times into different boards, keeping these boards updated for any followers I have, as well as increasing the chance that I'll gain new followers. If you've enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit that red subscribe button, like this video, and hey, leave me a comment down below as well. Thank you so much.